Yo, what's up, everybody? We're back. Season 2.
Episode 2.
Let's go, baby. We got a very special guest to start out the show. Ty, started out on the RM Army, bro. Just making absolute tsunami type waves. Then jumps up to the All-Star class. I mean, that's a big jump. But jumps up to the All-Star class, right? On the Yamaha. No ride whatsoever, right? Then we get the KTM, and everybody's like, who's Juju? Then the year after that, we go pro for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. We step up, show absolute flying colors. And then this year, sophomore big dogging pulls out a 250 lights win.
I mean, you definitely missed a lot of steps in there, but that's how it went.
Yes, that's how it went. Welcome to the show, Juju Beaumer. Say what's up.
What's up, guys? Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, dude, we're so stoked. So, I mean, the first thing, dude, how many years, like, when did this all start for you? Like, when did the dream, and when did you know the dream was, I guess, winning? And how surreal was it to win your first race?
I think the dream really started when I first started working with Davey. I think that, like, we had talked a little bit, and that was when, like, I finally was like, all right, I'm going to put everything I've got into this, and we're going to try and make it to the top. And that was, like, really when I set my eyes on what I wanted to do. And then obviously futures, I was fastest there. And that was when I was like, all right, like, yeah, I think I got this. And then, yeah, I mean, last night, unreal feeling to win that main event. I don't think words can describe it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you after the race. One of the funniest things, I feel like you tried to throw your bike down and your mechanic like held it up. He's like, hey, bro, don't drop my bike. And then you ran over, I think, to your PR. What's your PR lady's name? Steph. You ran right over to Steph, gave her a big hug. I see you guys together all the time. I mean, what a magical moment, Ty. Right?
Dude, super magical moment. And Juju, like, how many years have you been with Davey?
I hired him the January 1st of 23.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So not.
So, like,
I thought you were with him a long time.
Mm-mm.
No, I just hired him January 1st, 23, the year I got into futures. I'd only been with him for 4 weeks leading into that Supercross futures, the first Supercross futures that I did.
Oh, okay. And then what'd you, like, if you want to tell us, like, what made Davey, or like what made you kind of seek out Davey? Because was he working with anybody?
Yeah, he was working with Dino at the time. We were actually at the dairy track over in, like, Hemet area.
Uh-huh.
And I think Chase was there that day, and there was, like, this 3-on-off quad. And no one had done it before, and Chase came out and jumped at second lap like it was nothing. And I mean, pretty normal thing for Chase to do it. He'll just look at things and, oh yeah, that's doable.
Yeah.
And so it was like second lap, he jumped this 3-on-off 4. And I looked at it a couple laps, and Davey had pulled me off the track, and he was like, if there's any 250 guy here that can jump it, it's you. You're the only guy here on 250 that I think can make it. And I was like, damn. All right. Like, that's saying something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is.
I went and looked at it once, and then I went for it. I made it. It was pretty sick. I was pretty happy about that one. And then I think I really didn't talk to him. And then I'd say, I don't know, like, at that time I wasn't really, like, that deep into it. I was just doing whatever. Like, I wasn't really training too much, whatever. And I was in Mammoth, actually, snowboarding that weekend.
What do you mean you weren't training too much? Like,
well, like, I wasn't doing anything off the bike. Yeah, I was just riding. I was doing, like, I had a program at the track, but, like, I didn't do a single thing off the bike. I had no, like, diet, nothing, bro. I had nothing. I was just drinking Dr. Peppers and doing whatever.
Yeah.
And I was in Mammoth, actually, and I was there for like a week. I wasn't training, whatever. I was there for like a week, and I was driving home, And I don't know what hit me. I think something must have just like sprung my head. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to text Davey. So I called my dad. I was like, hey, what do you think of this? He was like, well, I mean, yeah, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
And I texted him, and then we had a meeting, I think, five or 6 days later in Havasu, because that's obviously where he lives, and I'm from there. So we had a meeting there we went to coffee, and we talked, and that was when, like, I realized what it really takes. I mean, I didn't know anything. I was clueless. And he wrote up a program for me at the thing, and I looked at it and I was like, I got to do all that. And he was like, yeah, I mean, that's like an easy day. I was like, damn, all right.
Yeah.
So then on that program, like, what stuck out to you the most that like you weren't doing before that Davey was like, hey, this program right here, this is like an easy day. What was the biggest eye opener for you just at that moment?
Can I guess?
Yes, guess, please.
I bet you
guess.
Davey's probably easy day would probably be you're doing like 50 to 60 laps on a Supercross track.
Yeah.
And then your recovery ride would probably be like anywhere from probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then you have like a stretching session after that, or like you're rolling, doing some sort of soft recovery.
Yeah.
And then you're doing another hard day after that, like a gym day after that.
Yeah, I'd say pretty similar to that. The 50 to 60 laps, we weren't there yet. I started at like 20, 25. I was smoked by like by 15 in, I was pretty done. I had nothing left in me.
Yeah.
And then I think I rode the first day I trained like on the bike with him. We were at Mumford's place up in Atalanta, and whatever. First day was fine. I mean, I rode quite a bit. It was whatever. I went home, did the spin or whatever I had to do.
Yeah.
And I showed up the next day. I did like 2 laps. I said, dude, I'm so dead. I was like, he was like, yeah, this feeling's normal. Just, you'll be fine. Like, push through it. I don't care. I was like, wow, all right, whatever. So I made it through that day. And that's when I was like, it's a lot different than I expected how real training was going to be.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of an eye opener, but then it was like, that was the best thing for me, like mentally to get me into that. Like, this is what it takes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like there's something about getting back into Supercross. Like every year I went to ride Supercross again after outdoor season was over, and like you go back to Supercross, you do 2 laps and your heart feels like it's beating out of your neck. You know, and it's like, oh my gosh, no matter what you do, Supercross tracks are that hard. And I did it forever. And like, imagine Juju with Davey. He's just like, yeah, we're doing a 50 lap day today, baby. It's his second day out, and he's just cooked.
Yeah, I was smoked. And then even like this year, we finished the season or whatever. I took 3 weeks off, chilled. I came back to training. Day 1, pretty short, pretty normal.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Day 2, warm up 15 plus 1. All right. It's day 2. But
oh my gosh, Davey. Oh, poor Juju.
Oh, there was days where I just looked out. But the thing was like I had such a good base after having a full season under my belt. Like even he even says it to me. There was days in boot camp where like one day me and Ryder D did 4 20-minute motos. It was like 100-something laps.
Oh my
gosh. Like we hammered these things like they were nothing.
Wow.
And he was just like in shock. He was like, you guys look like it doesn't bother you. And I was like, yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for the last 5 weeks.
Yeah. Hopefully
Of course it ain't going to bother us.
Yeah. Hopefully we're at that point where it's still not bothering you.
Yeah, it's funny too, because Davey's ass was like the first day you came back and you had to do that 15 plus 1. Davey's like looking at you almost the same as he is like expectation at the end of boot camp. Like, yeah, it's a 15-minute 1 plus 1, bro. Just do it. Like it's nothing.
No, yeah, and like we had done three moto days, whatever. Like that was normal during boot camp.
Mhm.
This dude, last day of boot camp, all of us are smoked. 420s. Sick. Granted, it was kind of my idea because he had brought this to my attention back when he was with Yogi. He was like, yeah, I challenged Yogi to a 420 day. And once I did it, I realized that was not the smartest idea. I was dead. So like at the beginning of boot camp, I was like, I'm doing 420s at some point in this boot camp. Like I'm going to finish 420s. I don't care.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you're not. Da, da, da. And then I called Benny. I was like, hey, Benny, we're doing 420s at the end of boot camp. You know what that guy responded to me with?
What?
Said, why don't we just do 81 lappers, 1 lap sprints? I said, you're out of your mind if you think I'm doing 81 lap sprints.
Imagine an 81 lap sprint day. Like, what's the break in between? Just like 3 minutes? Or no, it can't be. You got to do so
No
many.
shot.
No.
Dave, and then Davey was like, yeah, but you can't go back to the truck. Like, we'll have gas and water on the track for you. I was like, no, like, I'll just do 420s. I'm not doing like 81 lappers. We're gonna be here all day.
Literally.
That's like sun up to sundown trying to do that.
Oh my goodness.
We were laughing. It was funny. We get a good laugh out of everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone talking crap, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Dude, so let's get into the nitty gritty. Okay. This is kind of what I want to know. I mentioned it in the press conference a little bit, talking about how you were hitting the 2-3-2 all night and how you kind of knew it was slower, but you didn't really care because you didn't want to risk it on the quad. And you've been fast like all the time. Like that's never really been an issue. We've always seen your speed, and you even talk about it a lot on the test track, how fast you are. And we thought you were really fast on the race day as well. But one thing I think that was troublesome for you last year that you definitely solved is your maturity and just the mental strength you seem to have throughout the motos and throughout the day. Like, is that coming from years of training, like having the fitness? Is it coming from, okay, I know I have the right bike under me and I know I have a better setup under me and I'm comfortable? Is it coming from just you having confidence and actually seeing where your lap times have been lately? I mean, for you, what has been that mental switch of maturity and just being so solid at the races these first 2 rounds?
I'd say the biggest thing, one of the biggest things I think is we made a lot of progress with the bike this offseason. And you can see it with Chase. You can see it with all of us. Our bike's really good and we're all really comfortable, and our suspension techs and everyone did an incredible job with setup this offseason. The other thing I think is just believing in myself and the work we did during the week and during the off season. I put 3 months straight of just everything I had into this off season. Yeah. And when I got out of boot camp, I looked at Davey and I was like, yeah, like I'm ready to win. Like this guy right now can win. The guy last year, yes, he was fast, but he didn't have everything. I have everything I can to win right now. Yeah. And I think a lot of that also comes from me being able to ride with RD, train with RD. Last year, I think I struggled a lot with being patient. I tried to rush passes, didn't make them stick, crash, this, that. And having him at the test track with me, we were able to either he starts ahead and I catch up, or he starts behind and catches up, whatever. But we had to work on being patient, picking our spots, trying to make each other tired, wear each other out. And I think that's what I really tried to focus on all off season that I needed to get better at. Yeah. And I think we definitely made a big stride with that.
I mean, without a doubt, we watched you wear out Cole Davies, and Cole Davies can say whatever you want. I mean, there's mad respect for Cole Davies. I think Cole Davies is a great rider. He's solid. He just looks good, especially coming off of All-Stars. But without a doubt, you stood behind him. You waited patiently. You let him get a little arm pump or get tired or whatever that was. And then once those mistakes started happening, you could see oh, okay, now it's time to pounce. Because when somebody gets tired, the fight, that mental toughness goes away so quickly. And the pass you made where you got behind him on the triple, went inside on the sand and just followed behind him and then rushed that inside was, I mean, that's textbook right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the biggest thing was even in practice, we did the same thing with Ryder. I'd get right behind him. We'd work on that. I'd try to stay as close as I can. Yeah. And when I knew a spot that I had that I could make the pass stick, I took it.
Yeah.
That was something like we really worked on. And even last night in the race, I knew I was faster than Davies. And I probably, like, even Davey yelled at me last night for it. He was like, you could have passed him at least 10 times before that. Like, you shouldn't have waited that long. And I was like, yeah, but when I made the pass stick, I made it stick in a spot I knew I could make it stick.
Yes.
It wasn't like I tried to pass him in the mechanics area, I think maybe 4 laps in.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. Let's wait a little longer. And I worked on that same thing. Like, I really, like, the lap I passed him, I looked up at the clock when I jumped the triple because we could see, like, on the center, like a circular thing in the center that has the thing. I looked up at it and it said there was like 8 minutes left or something. Yeah. Right when I passed him. And I looked up at it, I seen 8:40 and I was like, all right, I need to get around him now. Like, this is it. We got to go now. Yeah. And that's when I made the pass stick. So I think that's something we really had focused on this offseason.
Nice. And then, like, dude, because you and Ryder D made like a huge step into like being a true professional motocross and supercross racers, because that's like, you guys look established. You look like you guys both know that you belong in the class and are fit enough all the way until the end. And, you know, you guys are going to be fighting, both of you guys, I think, are going to be fighting for wins throughout the season, regardless of who's behind you, you know? And then, but I want to kind of talk about like the bike setup, because I feel like it's really important on how early you find your bike setup or how late you found your bike setup. Like, did you find a good setting like early into testing that you have stuck with, or has it been like a constant transition into like evolving your setup?
I actually found my setup, I'd say maybe 3 weeks in, like really early.
Okay.
I had tested a little bit during SMX. Like, during SMX, I was riding whoops, everything, to try and work towards a setup for Supercross, because I wanted to have a little bit of a base setup that was better than what we ran last year going into the off season.
Yeah.
And then I tested a little bit right when I got back on the bike, and we found my setup, like, I'd say 3 weeks in, and I went all of boot camp without touching a thing. Like, it was strictly training. I wasn't touching the bike.
That's so nice, though. Like, as far as like a rider's perspective, to know your bike like that, like day in, day out, where you know exactly where it's going to be, you know exactly what it's going to do on a kicker, is so nice to have.
I think this is one thing that we assumed, and I want to ask you, Juju, like, how much has Chase's settings trickled down to you? How much impact has that had on the whole entire KTM team? Is that really helping, having Chase on the team and those settings trickling down, or are you doing your own setup and you're like, dude, I don't know what Chase has got going on, but that's like some crazy setup, and that's not for me?
Yeah, I think obviously having Chase, we get a lot of different ideas from everyone on the team, and we try these different ideas to figure out which one suits each other best. Like, I'll be honest, me and Tom can't ride the same setup.
Not even close.
I've tried to ride. Yeah. I've tried to ride his setup. He's tried to ride mine. Not even. No,
not even on the same planet.
Nope.
Won't do it.
Nope. I love that.
So I think like it's just a give and take between like each rider, I feel like, but overall my setup right now is exactly where I feel like I need it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
I would say I couldn't argue that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap this thing up. Juju, I guess a few just last little questions, because we don't want to keep you too late. I know it's Sunday, but dude, what do you do for fun? Not right now, because you're not allowed to have fun. We know Davey. Davey's strict, but like after SMX, like what do you do with your off time?
I've been getting into golf quite a bit.
Oh,
Getting
let's
better.
go.
We're getting there. I'm terrible, but we're getting there. Hey, I was playing a course. I was terrible, right?
Yeah.
I got a lucky shot on like 300-yard par 4.
Yeah.
Lucky shot. Dog leg right.
Yeah.
From the tee box onto the green, 2 feet from the hole.
Oh
Pretty
my
dialed.
gosh, let's go. So my guy
I probably should have quit.
My guy has the
I probably should have quit. I should have just said, I'm done. We're going home. That's it. There's no more left in me.
Oh my
but
God.
after SMX, I went back home and I just chilled on the boat, went surfing, just tried to do my own thing. I really didn't take like the first week after Vegas. I was fully off. Like I didn't train at all the first week. And then week 2, I was already running, cycling, swimming. I was doing everything right away. So I really only took 1 full week off of training. And then I really got like back into off the bike stuff right away.
Yeah. I mean, there's really no time, but I don't know. I feel like when you're racing, you can get a little bit of golf in, because it's obviously not working out, but I felt like if sometimes on Sundays, if I was home, I could walk a course and like, get something out. I would still do a long cycle, but to be able to walk and just get outside and play a little golf was always nice. But I found out I got real frustrated on Sunday when I was playing golf. Tired.
Yeah. Hey, bad race. You're tired. You show up to the golf course. Second hole, you're already ready to quit.
Yeah.
It's game over.
Chucking your driver just like.
Dude, there was
fucker.
one time, Juju, where I played golf after I was racing with Tyler and my buddy Randy. And what was it, Ty? 4 holes in. I'm like, fuck this. I'm out of here.
Yeah, you literally
I
just
literally
drove off
quit.
the course.
I quit. I just went home and laid my ass down. Oh, all right, Juju. Well, dude, thank you so much for having being on the show. I really enjoyed that, dude. And congratulations, San Diego round 2 winner, red plate holder. What?
Crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for that one. No, thank you guys for having me. Super stoked to be on here.
Heck yeah. Well, we appreciate it, Juju. We'll see you next weekend in Anaheim. We wish you the best of luck. Keep it up. And we love watching, dude.
Awesome. See you guys next weekend. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Peace.
later.
See ya.
Dude.
Bro, Juju's the guy, dude.
Dude, Juju's... Okay. Juju is cool as fuck. He's tight.
Tell me something that we don't know.
Okay, this is something that you don't know right here. This is something that you don't know. Okay. Well, I guess we do know. The battle between Juju and Hayden is going to be pretty gnarly.
Is brewing.
No, it's been brewed. And you know what I think the interesting part about it?
Dude, and there's a couple characters that we can't forget about, too.
Like Jordan Smith?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like, even like Colt Davies, like the first half of the main event, or like when he gets comfortable.
Yeah, but Cole Davies is like, he's a year or 2 away from, being a championship contender.
But the problem is
a race win contender right now.
But the thing about you think why I say the first half of the main event is this, I think he's just, what's just so crazy is because I say he's super young, but like, isn't Juju 18?
I don't know. We'll look it up though.
I'm pretty sure Juju's like 18. Cole Davies is 17.
I think Cole Davies is 17, but I'm going to look it up right now.
But I'm just saying, like, dude, he just picked up Davey Millsaps in 23, and we're in 2025 right now. So, we're 2 years in right now, or just, right around like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And Davey's done a really good job with Juju, Ryder D, and Benny Bloss. Like, those guys are not getting tired.
Yeah, no, they are not.
Even
tired.
in the heat of the battle.
Not even close to getting tired.
Not even close getting tired.
And the reason why we can tell that for all you people, like, you're like, oh, you guys don't know, you're not on the bike. Yeah, we do know because we know because of how he looks towards the end of the moto, body English and technique wise.
Yeah.
It's flawless.
You can't hide body English on a motorcycle.
So Juju Beaumer was born May 12th, 2006.
God damn it, that makes me feel so old.
So that means what? He's 18 right now, and he'll be 19 this year.
Yeah, so his birthday is be 19.
Yep. So he's 19 right now. So I don't know, dude. Juju definitely, and I'm going to skip over because I'm having so many thoughts right now. It's just like the 250 class is insane. But one of the things that I thought was interesting is Hayden Deegan congratulating Juju. You know, and I think he's done that twice. You know, Juju is like one of the only guys that Hayden doesn't have beef with right now. You know, but in the press conference, I don't know how team tactic this actually is. And I'm not starting any shit because I'm not that guy. But in the media conference, in the press conference, I think it was Gypsy said that, you know, do you feel the pressure on you because you're the guy, yada, 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 you're expected to win.
Who is Gypsy talking to?
Deegan.
Okay.
And so he said that to Deegan. And Deegan said, yada, 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 yeah, I do have a lot of pressure on me, but I think Juju has the pressure on him now because he's got the red plate. You know, I don't, is that just him trying to get the pressure off himself, Deegan? Or is that him kind of like saying like, dude, you got the red plate now. You better recognize.
Dude, I think that's just stating facts.
I think you're right.
I mean, everybody knows 450 or 250 class. When you have a red plate, bro, it's red because it's a damn target.
Hey, man, bro. Where's straight up. Ty, you get some applause on that one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like when when you were an amateur kid or anything and you saw an amateur kid with a Red Bull helmet, you'd be like, oh, dude, I want to beat that motherfucker.
Oh, straight up.
You know what I'm saying? That's something I want.
Yep. Well, let's get right into it. Let's get into the Twisted Tea. Smack the competition, bro. Oh, my goodness. Get me excited. Who smacked the competition? America's favorite rider, Eli Tomac, baby. Was that not the sickest thing you've ever seen?
It was the sickest thing I've ever seen in a long time. The sickest.
I mean, bro, that was a statement ride for him, his career, his legacy. I'm serious. That, like, I was thinking about it on the drive home. That right there is Tomac's legacy. His legacy ride. He just stamped his legacy, Eli Tomac, as the fastest rider to hit the track.
I mean, it's hard to fucking argue that because Jet was right behind them.
And could not make it happen.
Could not make it happen.
He couldn't.
No.
There was nothing that Jet could do.
Jet tried, too. And it wasn't like Eli Tomac was holding him up.
Not even for a second. And if you want to really argue, Vince Freeze jacked him up and let him kind of get closer, right?
Dude, I mean, do we want to get into that right now?
No, we got to get into that with the 450 class. We're just talking about smacking the competition. We're strictly on Tomac. Smacking him.
Hey, Tomac is on fire.
Dude, did you see him wheelie off the second tabletop?
Bro.
Oh,
I hope
that
they showed.
Was Chad Reed-esque.
Bro, it's not even Chad Reed-esque. The only people I've ever seen do that is like Chad Reed, James Stewart,
and
Villapoto, and like now Eli Tomac.
That's it. And for all you listeners that don't know, Eli Tomac on the second tabletop before the finish pinned it so fucking hard.
He power wheelied and landed on his rear wheel and power wheelied off of it.
Front tire did not touch the second tabletop.
To pass Jet. What the fuck?
What?
And that's the crazy
Do
thing.
you
is like,
guys know there's guys out there that can't hit it. You know that, right?
That literally can't go on a tabletop, off the table,
with let alone two wheels.
Let alone just have enough speed to hit with just your rear wheel and fucking wheelie off the whole thing.
What?
My boy is flying. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Twisted Tea smacked the competition. Let's get right into it, right?
Yes.
Dirt Tricks 450 class.
Bro. Dirt Tricks is the perfect sponsor for the 450 class because it's nothing but fucking goddamn legends and everybody's hard as a Dirt Trick sprockets because nobody's wearing down in this race.
Dude, what is going on with this class?
Dude, I was talking to 50 Beaks, the agent for Chase Sexton, or is it?
It's just Beaks.
Yeah, it's Beaks.
Chase Sexton's agent.
Yeah, it's Beaks. Dude, I pray to baby Jesus that literally everybody in the 450 class can stay healthy.
Amen, dude. Can we let's just throw up a quick prayer. Everybody in the 450 class, please stay healthy. Amen.
Amen. Just because we are getting it could be such a legendary season to just see the races flip flop like this.
Yeah.
Every weekend, because it could literally happen like this every weekend.
Every week.
It doesn't matter. It could A2, we could be seeing freaking, Chase Sexton and Justin Barcia and Jason Anderson in top 3.
Yep.
And Eli Tomac and Jet in 6th or 7th.
No problem.
Okay.
450 Heat 1. What's the results? What's the top 3? Can you give them to me?
Yes.
Gosh, so much happened. It's hard to remember.
Mm-hmm.
I know
it's very hard to remember.
I know Jet won one of the heats. The 450 main was just incredible.
Okay, so 450 Heat 1.
Yep.
Jet Lawrence, Cooper Webb, Jason Anderson.
Cooper Webb looked good.
Bro, what do you mean Cooper Webb looked good? Dude, Cooper Webb looked phenomenal for Cooper Webb. And then, too, I went to the rig after the race, and he said he felt sick and went straight into the motorhome and didn't take any interviews other than the press conference.
Well, that's the rumor, is he's super sick. And when I was looking at him in the press conference, dude, he looked like he was please get me out of here ASAP. Get me a drink of water. My guy just looked exhausted.
Yes.
And he still rode that good.
And it's been I think the sickness has been going around the paddock because Jet Reynolds was sick. Hunter Lawrence was sick. Levi was sick last weekend.
Yeah.
Kenny was sick before the first week of the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of going around. So if that's Cooper Webb sick, qualifying 4th fastest on a hard pack track, and then, getting 3rd place?
Yeah.
In the main event.
Was Benny Bloss in Heat 1 or was it Heat 2?
Benny Bloss.
Because he gets a DNF, right?
Heat 2.
Okay. Let's go to Heat 2. Who won Heat 2?
All right. Heat 2.
It was so stacked.
It was super stacked. It
Tomac,
was so heavy on one side. Tomac got the whole shot in 1. Chase Sexton got 2nd. Kenan Roxon got 3rd.
Okay. Tomac looked good. Chase Sexton didn't really catch him that much. He caught him a little bit. Little bit, but it's kind of like one of those things where
the heat races are kind of tough.
They're super tough.
Because the experienced riders like Eli Tomac, Chase Sexton, Ken Roxon, if they're in the top 4, top 5, and they're not right on the rear wheel of that next guy, they're just kind of settle in and figure out some lines, figure out their bike, and get ready for the main event.
Yes. And 2, why do you need to blast, if you're Eli Tomac, why do you need to go fast enough to just blow Sexton's doors off and blow your energy for the gnarliest 20-minute moto coming up?
Well, and don't get me wrong, if Chase Sexton got the whole shot and Eli Tomac was right behind him and they're neck and neck, they're going to ride that heat race hard. But the circumstances was Eli Tomac got the whole shot and Chase kind of didn't get 2nd place. He was kind of fighting his way through.
Yeah.
So he kind of just settled in that spot.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about Benny Bloss and Vince. This is where it even starts.
This is where it starts.
Okay, so I think Vince, right, just tees up Benny Bloss.
So I saw the slow-mo video, and I don't think he teed him up, but Benny Bloss was kind of trying to pinch down on Vince after that second bull corner before the triple across the start straight.
Yep.
And Vince just pokes it in on there, and then right around the apex of the corner, I think Benny kind of just loses his balance because Vince is pushing on him so hard, and then Benny's just, you know, at the mercy of Vince, and Vince just takes him all the way to the corner and just throws him off the end of the berm.
There you go. And Benny, you know what though? Like, we're stirring the pot right now.
A little bit.
We're stirring the pot because we got more information. Okay, but it's always Vince.
It's always Vince.
Benny Bloss does ride pretty gnarly. I've seen Benny take some fools out.
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
So what, the main event?
Nope, let's go to LCQ.
LCQ.
450
Dude, the LCQ was freaking the 450 LCQ was a little stacked. Because we got Jorge Prado that won.
Whole shot gone.
Yep. Benny Bloss second, Kyle Chisholm third, and Kevin Moran's got the final transfer spot.
How does Kyle do it?
Whole shots? Or I mean,
guess he explained it in the post-race interview last week.
What did he do? What did he explain?
Everything. He just said he just keeps doing it. He just, I don't know. Okay, let's go 450 main now. So I don't need any results. Okay. Chase Sexton. That's who we're focusing on right now. Gets a shitty start.
Ends up 6th.
Rolls the fucking triple, bro. Dylan Ferrandis. I'm not kidding you. This fool owes Dylan Ferrandis. If Chase Sexton wins the title, he's got to break him off a piece. Because Dylan Ferrandis had to be like if this is what your bike looks like in the air, Dylan Ferrandis was like tweaked off, hanging off, and Chase went like, did he dive this way? Which way was it?
Chase
went left.
Dylan went right. Yes.
And we're talking about like this much track left somehow.
Yeah, well, Dylan made that decision on the lip.
Yes.
And decided to jump off the track, basically.
But, dude, that's such a hard place to be.
Dude.
Like, why did Chase...
So, in the interview on Track Talkers, I kind of brought that up. And he's just... We all know, like, when the Supercross triple is around, like, the second corner of the start straight and you're in that 8 to 10 spot or, like, right there, 7th, like, you're trying to guess if the guy in front of you is accelerating enough to jump the triple or roll the triple. And the only difference between jumping a triple and rolling or when we say roll a triple, double it. Yeah. But like the only difference is about 5 feet of gas.
That's it.
And if that makes it, if you make the decision a split second late, you have to pull out and roll the triple. So Chase Sexton just was second guessing himself because he was on the inside. So he needed a little bit more gas than the outside. And Malcolm Stewart went to go jump the triple and Chase thought he was going to double it and he doubled it. And Dylan Ferrandis behind him was already committed.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, nothing happened to either of them because we have seen that with Matt Gorky and Trey Kennard and a few other people where it was career ending for both of them.
Yeah. I mean, career ending.
Yes.
That's how close that was. Because if Ferrandis lands on the back of Chase Sexton in that situation, that could be it.
For both of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's gnarly.
Then what? 2 corners later?
No,
one and a
corner.
half?
1 corner later.
My guy Chase tucks front.
On the rut.
Now, what is that? Do you think that's the chaos of everything happening, him almost getting landed on and trying to figure it out?
It could be literally anything because that rut was kind of deep and he probably wanted to get out of it a little bit. And
nobody else went down.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. He's probably looking to pass and he was stuck in that rut and he wanted to get out of it and it looked like he turned in too much and wanted to turn down and get underneath people and he was just stuck in that rut and he washed the front end and his freaking teammate rear-ended him.
Dude, where do we even start with AP? Poor guy, dude. You got to
think vibes were
crash?
No, I didn't see the crash, but I got to think that vibes were pretty high coming in San Diego from winning it last year.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. And then, so for all of you guys that don't know, I don't know if they showed it on TV, but AP went down right behind Chase. Then he goes down on the quad, right?
right, the corner after the quad, I saw him laying on the ground, holding his elbow, and he pulled off the track and he DNF'd.
Yeah. Well, I hit him up and on Instagram. He said he's fine. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. You know, like that
Rough.
quad was so big. And we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about the quad later. But so we're going on, right? So now the race really is between Eli Tomac. Cooper Webb's out front.
Yep.
Cooper Webb's out front. He's putting in a solid race. And then about halfway through, Tomac and Jet really get on him.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny's in the mix there too. And he's riding really, really good. Kenny is riding phenomenal this year. But one of the big things that I want to talk about with you is Tomac goes wide before the whoops, stands up, sits down, whatever he needs to do to get the speed for the whoops, and skims the whoops.
Yeah.
Jet tries to do the same thing at the beginning.
His bike literally just can't handle it.
But his bike can't handle it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have traction in the rear, and he can't handle it. And then, you know, he switches to the middle, and you can clearly see that that's not working as well.
Mm-hmm.
He does
Tomac
get it,
stretches it out a little bit.
yes, he does get it better by the end. Then another thing that was crucial that happened is Tomac goes off the triple. So right before the sand, there's the big triple. Okay,
Yep.
so Tomac is going outside and Jet's going inside when they're kind of in the heat of their battle. And Jet's catching them quite a bit on that inside line. That's where Jet's making up all his time.
And then they're coming up on Kevin Moran's, and Kevin Moran's points him to the inside.
And not to tell Tomac to go inside, but to tell him that he's going to go outside. So Kevin Moran's is like, I'm getting the fuck out of the way. Go this way.
Yeah.
Tomac, go this way so I'm not in your way. And Tomac then goes to the inside, and I think that was one of the biggest things that changed the race. If Tomac goes outside the rest of the race, I don't know if he stays in first. It would have been a way closer battle.
Yeah, because then him and Jet kind of stayed the same and then got to the whoops, and then Eli stretched out a little bit.
Yes. And then at the end of the race, Jet got that middle line really good and started to catch back up to Tomac. And that's what I mean. If Tomac didn't have that inside in the sand where he just stuck to the outside, Jet would have got that whoop line better, and I think would have gotten right on his rear tire.
Yes. There was
on his rear tire.
There was a couple times that Jet was closing the gap on Eli.
Yeah.
But you know that Eli fucking Tomac Roos was hurting.
Bad.
Yeah.
I did find out that Eli Tomac is running, well, I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, we'll have to go look, but I heard Eli Tomac's just running a production 34 rear tire. How gnarly is that?
I mean, I could see it. I bet you the spec tire is probably a little too soft for his liking, especially on the hard pack.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine how much he flexes that whole rear tire and everything, and he's so particular on his sag and his rear wheel.
Yeah.
Like, if he feels like it's more consistent, he's going to do it.
Yep, I agree. So,
and too, he wheelied off that last tabletop, and he's got to have every little bit of traction to do that.
Yes. So let's go back to the whoops. Okay. So in the press conference, Jet says that last year the frame on the Honda was actually stiffer, so they could run a softer suspension setup. So this year they're running a stiffer suspension setup, which you right off the rip in practice were like, Jet's bike looks softer than A1.
Yeah.
And I think it did too. The bike looked significantly, I say significantly, but at least 10% softer than it was at A1, which I think helped them a bunch. But at the same time, in the whoops, you could tell Jet did not have the traction on that rear tire that he needed at all whatsoever.
No, he was not driving like Eli's bike.
So Honda is going to have to go to work. And the reason that I'll bring that up is, you know, there's yin to the yang. And we talk about this all the time on dirt bikes, is that when you do one thing there, it messes up the other.
Yes.
So what does Honda have to do to get to work to make that happen? Because if Jet, last night in San Diego, if Jet has a bike that has traction and he can skim the whoops, it might have been a different story.
Yeah, but that bike that he's on, if you set it up for a little bit better, the whoops, I guarantee you it's going to take away from the corners. And Eli Tomac was annihilating the corners. And if you're even a click off on, 4 corners, dude, Eli Tomac's is going to stretch it out on you.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
I can't tell you guys how fast Eli Tomac is in the corner. Like, what the fuck, bro? The fucking corners after this mechanics area, I don't think I've seen anybody go that fast in a 90-degree corner before.
Bro,
the triple.
I'm saying, dude,
he was going.
Star Racing Yamaha's probably changing the throttle cables on Eli Tomac's bike every race, dude. Those fucking things are stretched right now.
Oh, okay. Anything else for the 450 class? Like, Kenny's fucking sick.
Bro, Kenny's in the championship, dog.
In the championship.
Point spread right now is Eli Tomac 42, Chase Sexton 41, Ken Roczen 40.
RM Army, motherfucker. Put us in 9th place in the manufacturer freaking standings. Bullshit, son.
Let me see. Let me just double check my math real quick, but I thought I saw it. Fuck yeah, I was right. And then Cooper Webb was 38 points. Jet Lawrence is 32 points, and Justin Barbershop it's 30 points.
Bro, we're talking about how freaking gnarly Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton are. What about Kenny, bro? How many points back is Ken Roczen?
2.
2 points back off the red plate? Are we in for the season of the century or what, bro? Oh my gosh.
I just hope that Kenny can stay healthy and keep on being consistent.
Yes, I agree. Last thing for the Dirt Tricks 450 class. Hey. Salute for Jet Lawrence, bro. Sportsmanship. I applaud you, dude. I know he's a young kid. He's got a lot to work on.
He seemed pretty stoked with the battle from Eli Tomac after the main event.
He was really stoked. He's still a young guy. He's going to make mistakes. He kind of reminds me, like, honestly, I know it's not the same star level, but he reminds me a little bit Justin Bieber. A lot of talent, super, like, an amazing, crazy amount of talent, making some dumb little media mistakes, has some hate on him, doesn't really know quite how to handle it.
Yeah, but
he's a good dude. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even care about the mistakes. I'd much rather have a little bit of mistakes and him speaking his mind and speaking a little bit on his
I shouldn't
emotions.
call them mistakes.
Emotions, Like, yes, bro, I hope this motherfucker stays emotional because that's what we need, dude. I'm sick of robots, bro. Like, I know how you're feeling because I could see it on the bike, but just tell me how you feel in your own words so I know what your character is.
Yeah, straight up. And you're right.
And we
They're
can't
not mistakes.
I
shouldn't call them that.
We can't be fucking, shaming these riders for putting a little bit of character into their interviews.
Yeah, especially whether I agree with it or I don't agree with it.
Yes.
That's the deal. It's just like politics, bro. Like sometimes you're gonna agree with it, sometimes you're not. But
we all gotta live together.
Yep, we all gotta live together, and we're trying to do the best we can for everybody.
Yep.
So that's it. Period. Okay, moving on. The Stan Benson Racing 250 class. Dude, honestly, like, one of the big things right now for me is that hold on, we're getting a call. So one of the big things right now for me is the whole Deegan show. He said it's tough.
Bro, we read his lips at the end of the race, and he said, I'm so fucking pumped up right now.
Yeah. And he said it on the podium. He said it on the podium.
We could see it.
Yeah, and we seen it on the Jumbotron. So they had a big shot.
Well, and
at
too,
the
we
race.
just saw in his riding style.
Yeah, we saw it in his riding style. He didn't have the push forward that he wanted, but we saw it on the jumbotron after the race. He was talking to his mechanic Duff, and he's like, "Dude, I'm so fucking pumped up," and that's, what that's from, in my opinion, trying your heart out. He's trying so hard and hanging it out so hard to make up for the time that he's losing
On the starts,
that he
can't relax.
He can't relax. It's like literally like, when you get in the gym and there's something really fucking heavy and you're like, "Duh!" and you're trying to lift it as hard as you can. Like, it's almost internal in your human body to grip tighter. It's very hard to push something as hard as you can push it, then let go of your hands and let it relax. And I think that's something that's happening to Hayden, is he's getting in these moments where he has to push and give it everything he has. And this kid has so much freaking heart in his body. You know what I mean? But he's just gripping that bike just a little bit too tight. And he wants it so bad that he's getting arm pump.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been wrong before. You can ask my wife about that. But, that's what was happening to me. It's like, in practices, I would try so hard to get a hot lap that I would just forget to relax. And when you forget to let your grip loose and just breathe because you're pushing so fucking hard, it's really hard not to get arm pump.
Really hard not to get arm pump.
Now, do I think he'll get it figured out? Yes, but
Quick enough and recover enough, he's already 10 points down.
that's what I'm concerned about. I think that's the big talk right now in the town is, dude, Hayden Deegan only has 6 rounds, right? 6 or 7? No, he has more than that. He's got 8 rounds.
The problem is, not the problem, but to his benefit, there's 2 shootout rounds this year, and you can lose a lot of points and gain a lot of points in those races.
In those shootout rounds, for sure.
And he's been very good in the past
Yes.
at the shootout rounds.
Yes, but
We don't want to be down. He wants the red plate and he wants to win.
more than anything, you should have seen him in the press conference. He just said, "Yeah, dude, it's miserable not to win week to week." Dude, he's only 2 races in. And he's just saying it's miserable.
But he knows how important it is to get out to a good start.
Yeah. I mean,
And literally everyone we talked to on their race picks throughout the day,
yeah.
they were Deegan.
Well, yeah.
Deegan for the win. Deegan for the win. Deegan for the win.
That's because we all know he has the speed and we all know he has the talent, but he has to, if he
has to get back to fundamental racing and focus on the start and then take a breath wherever he's at on that first lap,
Yeah.
reset, and then start motoing.
I mean, he's had pretty much 2 of the hardest weekends in a row that you can give a racer.
Yes. And he got a 3 and a 5. But like I've said in the past, is if you want to win a 250 West Coast or 250 East Coast champion, you can look at the past. A lot of the championships have never been, or not a lot of champions have never been off the podium. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah. It's going to be really tough. I just think one of the things that concern me, bro, and it just keeps running through my mind, and it really worries me. He's like, and I hope he just said this because he was thinking about something else. He's like, we're just going to have to go back and work harder. Dude, the last thing in my mind is Deegan needs to work harder. I think that kid works harder than or as hard as anybody on that track.
Yeah, but the thing about it is like whatever eases his mind, he has to do whatever he thinks.
Yes.
Because if he's thinking that like he should have done something more during the week on the line, like that is not where he needs to be. He needs to make sure he checks all the boxes in his head that he thinks that what he needs to do to be prepared for the weekend, he needs to do that during this week and not miss a beat.
Yes.
And he's been doing that, but it's just right now it's just hard. It's hard. He's got to break through that wall, and as soon as he breaks through that wall and gets that first hole shot, dude, like the snowball is going to start rolling, and it's going to be really hard to slow that motherfucker down when he starts rolling.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, I think, the story of the weekend
is Joe
Shimoda.
Yeah.
slow-mo video on the broadcast of Pitboard hitting his 2 fingers on the outside of his grip, and the Pitboard was going long ways and somehow nailed his 2 fingers to break his outside 2 fingers.
Bro, see this right here? This pinky? I hit a tree, okay? It hurts so bad to ride with a broken finger. I tried riding with this thing early. Just it wiggling, dude.
Bro.
It hurts so bad. For Joe to go out there.
You know that motherfucker took like a gnarly Toradol shot and shot up that fucking thing.
Yeah, but this is what I was talking to you about in the press box. What do you do at this point? If Joe's getting 8th, if anything, that finger's going to be worse next week.
Oh, 100%. But
way worse.
But if he gets through next week, then I think he has like 3 or 4 weeks off.
Didn't think about that.
So
that could be doable.
You know what I'm saying?
But let's just talk about how the fuck that even happens.
He got 7th.
Yes, I know, but
it's not bad.
It's not bad for 2 broken fingers. It's amazing for 2 broken fingers.
Yeah, because really, you should be holding on your bike with the 2 broken fingers that he's holding on to.
Yes, without a doubt.
You're not holding on with these.
No.
You're holding on with these.
Yes.
So he was like this on his left hand.
So pretty much from now on, he doesn't get to use the clutch.
Nope.
No clutch.
No clutch.
That's fine. He could do it.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
But
not really.
Yeah, not really. How the fuck does that happen, bro? So, I mean, it was muck off guy, right?
I mean, I allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But they showed the slow-mo on the broadcast because they had it or whatever on film.
Yeah.
And dude, it literally like if
he was pulling it up.
If this was the clipboard or the pitboard, it like nailed him like right there.
Yes. And so what Ty's trying to explain is like usually the pitboard is looking like this so the riders can read it. Well, when you pull the pitboard over the thing,
tough block,
over the tough block, you point it this direction. And sometimes what mechanics will do to get their riders' attention is they'll stick their arm out and they'll go like this. Mm-hmm. Well, if that particular guy is looking ahead for his rider and he goes like this, all of a sudden he's not seeing that and he sticks it out.
You didn't see the video. He was pulling the pitboard back across, like to him to pull it away, and Joe was just wrong time, wrong place, literally by like 2 inches, and just nailed his fingers.
But don't you think this should be like? Why are they that close?
I know it's been like that at the end of time, but like I'm surprised it hasn't. I mean, we've actually seen pitboards explode from riders hitting them and stuff like that. But like,
yeah, but as long as the pitboard is not this direction, it's fine.
I know.
If Joe's hand would have hit the pitboard like this,
I think this is going to be a considerable thing in the off season that we need to change or create tough blocks where like. I just thought of this on the fly, but like, you know how there's like the big tough blocks that are like kind of flat like this? Yeah. Maybe there needs to be like a 10-inch, like just bumper tough block on the bottom of
so
the
they
tough
can't
block.
get that close.
So they can't get that close.
Yes.
Because the riders, if you are going to give them that space on the track,
they're going to use it.
They're going to use it regardless. And they're going to keep on using it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But the tough blocks that we are seeing are super flat on that one side. If they kind of have like a little bit of a bench, like a normal tough block, but almost just sewn on to the big tough block.
Yep. I know exactly what you mean.
And just have that curb right there.
Track talkers fix the problem.
Boom.
Call Dave Prater. Get him on the phone.
Get some new tough blocks made for this next year.
Or are we? Is it Mike Muley or Dave Prater? Who we
either one?
Yep,
but like, even if we had those tough blocks, because there's only like 4 or 5 of them at a race, we just need 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah,
and just some specialized covers.
Totally. All right. Well, Ty,
what segment is it?
Big Dub, Big L.
Oh, bro, perfect.
Love it.
I don't want to. I'm not a big
L. Dub, Big L.
Well, Big
Let's
L.
hear it.
Big L. Midge Payne Pro Circuit Monster Energy Kawasaki team. Big L, Ty Masterpool. Basically, he was looking pretty damn good. But he made a huge mistake in that rhythm with the quad in it. And he just mistimed the middle like triple and kind of OJ'd it and then hit into that last double and faced it. And then I saw the video where he just totally boner aired and came off the end of his bike. Like, I hope nothing's broken and he's just bruised up. But dude, it was such a tough hit. And man, with Garrett getting freaking 8th.
Dude, and he wins the heat.
I know, and looks so good.
I was like, oh, Garrett's the man.
Yeah, and then the main event start, he just didn't get it. Did not get it.
Dude, he's so fast.
He's so fast, but he needs to start in this class. And he can't be starting way back in the pack.
Not with Juju and Ryder D.
And Jordan Smith.
And Jordan Smith.
Cole
and
Davies
Hayden
and Cody Schock and Joe Shimoda.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, these guys are too good.
Dude, does Cody Schock like always get, what did he get? What's his result?
6th.
Does he always get 5th or 6th every weekend?
I mean, dude, he's been, kind of. Like, he's been up there. And, dude, the kid looks good.
I know. Okay, who's big dub of the weekend?
Big dub of the weekend? Dog. Eli Tomac, dog. What are you talking about?
Oh, my God. God bless America. Dude, I love Eli. That was so sick, dude. Like, it still puts a smile on my face. Who else got a big win? You know who else I think got a big win? I give him a big dub for the weekend.
Kenny,
yeah. But I think Jordan Smith. Dude, Jordan is riding good.
Dude, really good. And he's staying off the ground.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
Like, Jordan Smith is in the title hunt. No question. Could totally do this.
Yeah, could be a good guy to win this next A2 class, A2 race.
Like, without a doubt, on a brand new bike, on a brand new team, with, him kind of developing and making the bike better.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
where
and
Joey Savacci, I don't know exactly why he left, but, they parted ways. And a few other people did, and now Triumph is looking real nice right now.
And that reminds me, so Styles Robertson, I'm pretty sure jammed his wrist or re-injured his left wrist on a rhythm section. I'm guessing the quad. Tried to ride the second qualifying time practice, rode 1 lap, pulled off, didn't see him rest of the night. Another rider, no Viney, crashed in the rhythm, popped his shoulder out, popped back in. Went and rode the second practice, tried to do it, rode 1 lap, pulled off, didn't see him rest of the night.
Billy Laninovich, right?
Billy Laninovich crashed in that big rhythm, but he crashed on like the second triple and kind of just like swapped back and forth, got some x-rays on his ribs, on his pelvis, didn't see any major displacement, maybe some small fractures, said he's going to be back on the bike soon.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it, right?
I think so.
Big L, big dub.
Big
Anybody
L, big
else?
dub. What about your big L, big dub?
I mean,
we already know who your big dub is.
Yeah, my big dub is without a doubt Tomac.
What about your big L?
Vince Freeze.
Why is Vince a big L?
Because, dude, how many times are you going to be in these situations? Like, he almost gets in a full-on fist fight with Benny Bloss's dad.
Yep.
He almost completely takes out Eli Tomac.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Then he starts more shit with Benny Bloss on the track.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how come it's always Vince?
Bro, he whole shot in the main event, dude.
Yeah, but dude, okay, so like, I know how it is to get lapped. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Vince is a badass rider. He's
quick.
He's quick. Vince is fast. But dude, when you see the guys coming up on you, because I know when I'm getting lapped, I can see Tomac and Jet.
Not even see, but hear Eli Tomac, when you can hear, we're on the 3rd level, dude, and we can hear Eli Tomac. No, not even roll. We could hear Eli Tomac's bike just wide open through the air of the quad.
Yes, revving it at Vince.
Yes.
Okay, so Vince, literally nobody else is by him. Nobody to pass, right? Nobody to get past him. And they start out on the triple in the sand section, kind of where they catch Vince.
Yep.
Vince could have easily just gone inside before the freaking big 3-4 and rolled and just doubled on the right side.
And would have been fine.
Would have been fine. But no. Vince wants to try to get as much track as he can, even though he can't see anybody in front of him to pass. And he tries to get in front of Eli and put down like a half a lap sprint.
Yeah.
Then he goes over the triple. Eli Tomac's revving it at him. He hears him. He's right on his fucking rear tire. Then he goes on, off, and then doubles, cuts all the way left. And Eli's so close that he thinks that Vince is going to go to the outside. Well, all of a sudden, Vince cuts down to the inside, and Tomac is already jumping 3 into the inside and barely fucking misses him.
Yes.
Then Jet catches right up to his rear wheel. I mean, that could have literally changed the entire race in an instant because Vince wanted to get a little bit more time. Now, if in that situation, I'm totally okay with 3rd, 4th, 5th, Vince, do that.
Yeah.
If they're right behind you, let them carry you through a section, let them push you, and then get out of the way last second. I don't care. 3rd, 4th, 5th, no problem. But when you see those two coming up on you, because you can see them,
the first blue flag that you see.
Yes, and you're telling me you can't see them when you have a mechanics area that goes perfectly back and forth.
Yeah, you can't tell that fucking Eli Tomac
is
Jet
coming.
Lawrence is coming.
They are. You 100% can. I know. I've been there.
Yes.
I know when the leaders are coming and when there's a good race or when there's not. Okay? The first place guy, get way the fuck out of the way. 2nd or 3rd, 4th, 5th, if there's no battle going on for that, or even if there is a battle, don't even care. Ride with them, carry the momentum. It's not a big deal. It's for 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
The first place guy, get way out of the way. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay? Moving on, in the trenches, California Coast Plumbing. Who's in the trenches right now, bro?
Garrett Marchbanks.
Deegan. Right?
I mean, kind of.
He's in the trench for sure, bro.
He's in the trench for
Deegan.
For what his goals were on the season, and Garrett's in the trenches for what he's just disappointed in himself right now. I know it.
And like, that's a hard place to be in. We talked about it with Jet. Like, if Jet would have had a bad weekend this weekend, all of a sudden you start rethinking everything. Is the bike good? Is my training good?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Am I doing the right things?
And
what do I need to change?
Yep.
And that's the worst place you can be right now.
Everybody knows, especially when you're outside looking in, when you start doubting yourself and your program, everything will crumble underneath you. You have to have the belief. That's why all of us, I know it's this cheesy, stupid saying, but trust the process, bro. Sometimes you got to just look past these weird little things that happen and just go, okay, I know that it's going to be okay. I know that I'm doing something right. I know there's a few little mistakes. Let's make some minor micro adjustments and we can get there.
Yep.
And it's like he did something right in the heat race.
Yeah. I mean, he got a good start. He fucking passed some guys and got the win.
Yeah.
He just needs to figure it out in the main.
Well, a guy who's kind of digging himself out of a trench, Colt Nichols.
Hey. Made the main event.
Made the main and qualified 13th.
Yep.
Well, that's not true. 13th in the first practice. Did a little worse in the second practice, but definitely looked a lot better this weekend.
And I think he'll do even a little bit better this next weekend when he's in the A practice with those guys. And I think he gets a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. And like, you know what I text him that I just, like, I realized that was so gnarly? Is like, we're talking all this shit and we're at round 2 and we have 29 more.
I know. Fuck.
29 more races to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, we got, 15 more Supercrosses to figure this out?
How insane is that? Like, it's almost like I know these guys are like doing so good and pushing so hard, but like in the grand scheme of things, what happens if the 450 class keeps going at that rate? There's no way that those guys can hold that for 29 more rounds.
I know Eli Tomac can probably is the only one that's has the most experience to keep on doing it.
Yes. For sure. Because I saw Jack get whiskey a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm talking.
And Chase looked really good when he was cutting through the pack. Like, he looked solid. He wasn't getting sketchy.
Nope.
There wasn't no scary moments.
No.
I mean, other than the first lap. But.
Yeah. I mean, the first lap is terrifying.
Yeah. But he did take his time, made a lot of passes, and salvaged a good result on the night.
Yep.
It wasn't total disaster.
All right. Well, last segment of the show, bro. Eks Brand, does a zebra keep his stripes? Am I picking somebody or are you picking somebody?
I picked someone last week.
Okay, I got him. Juju. Let's pick him.
Picking what stripes?
Does he keep the stripes of
Top dog?
Big Hoss?
Big Oos?
Yeah, Big Hoss. Does he can he keep this up? Can a young kid at 18 years old? Let's start with this.
He's been looking really good in practice, and he's been wanting to be the fastest guy on practice every single time he's out.
What is going to be Juju's kryptonite? Like, what is something that Juju has to stay away from if he wants to keep these winning stripes?
To be on the real,
yep.
He needs to just keep on saying to himself, he needs to do the best he can do and not the best what Deegan can do.
Oh my God.
Because he can't try to elevate.
Praise the Lord. If you want some knowledge, it's at Track Talkers. That might have been the smartest shit I've ever heard you say.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not even kidding. I'm like genuinely taken back. Like I'm like really impressed. Like that was real talk.
When you start elevating yourself, trying to elevate yourself to someone else's level, that's when shit goes sideways.
Like Gandhi, Uncle Ty.
No, hell no.
Like, oh, Uncle Ty speak the truth. Like that's exactly it. You nailed it on the head. Juju cannot try to elevate himself to somebody else's level.
Yes.
Hayden Deegan.
Yes.
So when Hayden Deegan starts cooking, because he's gonna cook, this kid, like with Deegan, he wants it so bad, he's either going to get hurt and be out of the season or he is going to win eventually. Like that's
the path he's on.
That's the path he's on.
Yep.
Right? It's either I'm going to win or I will be out. And it seems like with how much work Deegan has put in, he is reacting in ways that he can stay healthy.
Yes.
So he will win eventually at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest kryptonite is when Juju is there and he wants the win, just like Hayden does. He has to go,
either I got it tonight and I can push to another level that I feel comfortable at, or I'm good.
Yeah, like
this is where I'm at. This is the best I could do tonight.
I don't have what Deegan has. I'm not going to have it. And
well, it's not even what I don't have what Deegan has. It's just tonight, I don't feel comfortable to push that limit.
Yeah.
Tonight.
And he has to be okay, too, with Deegan talking some shit on him.
Yes.
Because when Deegan goes up and wins, because Deegan now knows that Juju is his competition. So if I was Deegan, that's what I would do. Yeah. I would talk shit on Juju. That would be the strategy. Get in his head. And that's what Deegan does. He's good at it.
Yes.
So when he gets up there, he is going to try to say something to get under Juju's skin And for Juju to keep up these ways, he has to just go, dude, I'm just doing me, bro. I don't know what you can do. I don't know what your level is, but me and Davey are working at the track really, really hard, and this is what I got.
Yep.
This is what I had this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not good enough for the championship, we're going to go back and we're going to work our tail off. And next year, we're going to come back with the fixes that we think we needed to make, and we're going to fight again.
There we go.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow, that was knowledge right there, right?
I got some.
I love it. Well, that is Track Talkers Season 2, Episode 2. Thank you guys so much for listening. San Diego Supercross was so fun to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, make sure you follow us. Apple Podcasts, go check us out there as well. You know, all of our fans have really been amazing, and we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you guys can spread the word to your friends and whoever about the podcast, we really appreciate every single one of you doing that, because without these fans, without you guys, we don't have a show.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. Track Talkers, Season 2, Episode 2. Peace.